Hey guys, Daily here, and welcome to my newest Let's Play, The Room. Yeah, no, not that room, and not that room either. This is a puzzle game created by Fireproof Games. It actually started life as a mobile game. This is, however, the PC port available on Steam. Let me just adjust that. And it's a fun, puzzly game. It has a horror aesthetic. I will tell you now, there are no jump scares. There is nothing but ambiance and creepy notes. The implications are pretty horrifying, and the storyline is terrifying, but there isn't really any disturbing imagery, except for there's like one pseudo jump scare at the very end. Something sort of happens very, very quickly, but you'll mostly be braced for it, and I'll warn you too. So, with that, let's play the game. Loading. Oh, tutorial. Okay. Yeah, this is a pretty easy chapter, this tutorial. It's all about puzzles. And we can look up, and oh hey, double-click on the envelope on the top of the safe to focus on it. Slide the letter out of the envelope. Let's see here. You came. I knew your curiosity would get the better of you. Please excuse the mess. My housekeeper abandoned me shortly after the rest of the world. The answers you seek are inside this box, along with something else. Something they said could never be built. It is the only one in existence, and it is the key to incomprehensible power. This safe was constructed to keep it from lesser minds. I have every faith in you solving its mysteries. You always were the smart one. With the enclosed key, I gift you one parting favor. Keep this eyepiece with you always. Without it, you are as blind as the rest. The stakes are higher than you could possibly imagine. A.S. And we get this key. A small brass key with an animal motif. That is no kind of animal I have ever seen. It looks kind of like a deer, but the body's like a dog, and it has a human head. Rotate the lid to line up the keyhole. Yeah, obviously you can see where this was a mobile game. I'm using a mouse. Drag the key to the keyhole. And then you turn the key. Yeah, I like the way they've got it, but sometimes some of the motions don't work well, and it betrays its mobile game origin. Pick up the eyepiece. A curious eyepiece. Yes, it is. Click on the eyepiece. Nothing happens. It doesn't do anything. Perhaps something's missing? What does the note say? Take the eyepiece off. Feed me and I shall survive. Give me drink and I shall die. Okay then. A riddle! The solution must be here somewhere. Right-click to zoom out. You'll find the answer somewhere on the safe. Really? I would not have guessed. Yeah. That better not be showing. Oh well. Okay, so now we can start using what we've learned. Bespoke safes for the gentry. Guildford, England. The world-renowned talisman. Established 1807. Guaranteed thief and fireproof. That looks suspicious, but there really isn't. I might be able to unscrew this if I had something to grip it with. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna go back out. Check this side. We can no, apparently we can't. But if you come down here, you can see. I don't think that's the answer. Thank you. We have air, and if we zoom in again, we get, or just look very carefully, we get water. These are all chemical symbols. This game uses a lot of alchemy. Let's see. Anything we can do here? Oh, hey. A keyhole. Obviously, for this, we're going to need a key. I will probably nerd out about the alchemy occasionally. If we come in, we can see down here, that is Earth, by the way. The downward pointing triangle with the line atop. So an upward pointing triangle, by process of elimination, must be fire. Fire! Wood feeds it, but water puts it out. I guess I should give it a push. So you do that, and the game hangs. Really? I know. Come on, dude. Oh. Apparently you have to double-click it. A peculiar old key. There's something unusual about this key. I should take a closer look. Okay, you can rotate the end of the key. You can also rotate the key to get a better look at it. That can be sometimes a little difficult. Looks like I can turn the end to make the key into a different shape. Yes, and we've seen this shape, haven't we? But first... Does that look familiar? Or familiar. Does that look suspicious? Aha. Drag the key over and turn it. One of the things I learned watching Chris Ramsey, he's a YouTuber who does a lot of puzzle box solving. The end looks like it could be used as a wrench. Where did we need a wrench? Right here. I learned from Chris Ramsey is that the first thing to do when trying to solve a puzzle box is look for things that move. Just anything that looks like it might move, push it. A lens. It looks like it would fit in the eyepiece. Okay. Hey! Somebody's been playing with the luminol. Yeah, so we get all of this creepy... Yeah, if you heard that, that's pretty much the basic extent of the horror of this game, is those creepy noises. Okay. Well, that keyhole is obviously important. So, we drag our key. It doesn't fit. The key's the wrong shape, right? I forgot. First we rotate our key. Then we drag our key. It doesn't really matter which way you turn it, which is generally not true for real keys, but hey. Nothing. Well, you know what to do? Oh my. Center doesn't move, so obviously we have to line everything up with the center. Okay. And it looks like it's gonna help us some. But yeah. Just keep turning until things line up. And if you get it close enough, it'll settle into position. And there we go. That's pretty cool. And there's another puzzle box. Boxception. Yay. Well, well, let's take it out for a closer look. Chapter complete. These are little, like, basically resting places. I'm going to do these two chapters together. The tutorial chapter, because we've been doing this maybe 7 or 8 minutes. This one's going to be longer. So you're going to get an extra long introductory episode. After that, some of the chapters are 30 minutes and one chapter is 15 minutes. So these 3 seals stand between me and the contents of this box. Oh, crud. I forgot to get the text. You'll see that later. Unless I have to scrap this recording, which is also possible. So, we have 3... Yeah, locked up tight. There must be a way to get into it. Let's zoom out and take a look at our puzzle box. It has 6 sides. That side looks suspicious. Nothing over here. Really? Okay, and then this has... What's this over here? It looks like one of those locks. Like on luggage. Alright, so it has those 6 sides, and 2 of the pillars are funny. Also, there's that. We'll get to that. Do you see this right here? It's knurled. Yeah, that means you can turn it. These games will use the knurling as a sort of a sign of what you can do with things like that. Okay? It looks like a miniature telescope. It really does it. Let's take a look at it. I said. Well, as you can see, this rotates, and there's arrows, so let's line them up. Now it really looks like a miniature telescope. Okay, then. Still nothing we can do with that so far. Let's go look at that other, yeah. And I see more knurling. And something. There's a hole in the back. Aha. A short piece of cotton. It smells of paraffin. That would be a wick of some kind, so we're looking for a lamp. Okay, well, let's see. Well, of course, first thing you should always do is turn on your turn on your eyepiece. We see fingerprints here. And when we press it, because you have to zoom in to press things. An ancient leather-bound book. The cover seems very ornate. And I keep forgetting you only single-click inventory stuff. This is a pretty simple puzzle, obviously. We just have to turn these things so that they can turn. And if you do that, it opens. We'll read that later. It'll be in a much more readable thing later. A key. It looks like it's for winding up clockwork. Okay, then. And then we see this up here. And look, we've got this here. You have to zoom out first. So we can set this to the end of the key. And oh hey, there's a crown thingy bob. So we can set this to the crown thingy bob. Right, let's look around. What else can we do? Not too much else, so... Oh ho! Yeah, do you see? Taking this off. You see this rainbowy color on this wood or whatever it is, which is I refer to as schiller, which is the metallic effect you see in moonstones and other gemstones. Schiller means that you can use the thing, the eyepiece, to see through. Okay, there's a 5. And there's that the dancing bug, and a 7. Okay. And a 2 up there. That's definitely a 2 if you look at it from the top. So any idea, can we look at this from the bottom? I'm seeing a 2, bits of a 2, a 7, and a 5, but what else is there? Any? Aha! It's a 6. So, we come out of here. Before we forget, we go around and come in here. And the dancing bug, which is... So we set the dancing bug there, and now we're going to come back into this. And there was a 2 on the top, if I remember correctly. I should go the right way. 2. And this was a 7, wasn't it? And this was a 5. And... no, 5. And this was a 6. Nope. Got 7 and 5 mixed up. That'll happen. You all know my issues with left and right. There we go. A switch! Why don't I press it and see? Sorry, callbacks to Symphony of the Night. Okay, this is weird. But as we come around, we see, oh hey, what are you? It's a note. This is the thing that was also in the book. You're supposed to find this first, really. February 11th. That's my dad's birthday. My research continues at a snail's pace. With these barbaric instruments, I can barely read anything at all, but there is something there. Between earth and fire, between water and air, I cannot see it, but I can see its presence. Like a shadow of the object without substance, yet betraying the shape and form of that which casts it. It is the final element, null. It brings meaning to the rest, just as all the numbers of the world are meaningless without their zero. The circle are petty fools, blinded by their dark arts and their greed. Alchemy is not the pursuit of callow gold. It is the pursuit of this. Well, he's not. We do later learn that AS is male, and this is the early 1900s. So yeah, AS would have to be male. Really? So yeah, alchemy is in a lot of respects a spiritual discipline, as well as an attempt at science and turning lead into gold. Okay, this looks like something could go here, doesn't it? Uh-huh. And then if we come in here, what's this? Well, it's sparking for a lamp. What do? You put the wick in. Once that starts, we move that up. Yeah, the only problem with this is because I'm doing it with a mouse. Sometimes I have to just move it up and it'll move over on its own. I keep forgetting that. Okay, it's doing something. Can we look through it? There's nothing to see until I've got this contraption working. Okay then. So we look around a bit more, and that looks promising. Yes, I've done this before, and I know all the answers, but I don't always remember them as well as I'd like. Well, we've got a key. I've got a brand new pair of roller skates. You've got a brand new key. I heard that on the music at work the other day. Let's see. So, now let's look and see what we can see. Interesting. I get the feeling there's more to that than I saw. Would the eyepiece reveal anything? Let's find out. Yeah, you can't put the eyepiece on while you're watching? Trial. Uh-oh. Yes, thank you, faceless person. Okay then. Trial. And... well, obviously... yeah. So, we've got what is obviously a goat skull that I am not being very good at. There we go. Lining up. Goat skulls aren't really an alchemical thing. They're really more of a magic thing, often a reference to Baphomet, who was, of course, a demon created by the accusers of the Knights Templar. It's thought that the name is, in fact, a corruption of Muhammad, because, everybody at the time in that area was not too fond of Muslims. And, the Knights Templar were crusaders. Sort of. Okay, so we have an L. And we have a blank thing. But first, let's see if we can't find that fourth combination thing before I get too ahead of myself. Oh. Possibly? Yes. And then, of course, when you roll out, everything's, seriously funky. So we're coming down. Alright, so this, we get a... actually, I probably should go do the other thing first, but we're here now. And we get a heavy cast iron key. Maybe it's fine. Okay, so let's look around and see. And if you can hear that phone in the background, I'm very sorry. So, we haven't that L. We went in exactly the wrong direction, because of course we did. And we're going to go back around because, yeah. T. R. C. E. I. And A. I said A. And we're done with that, so it puts itself away. I like that. It tells you definitively when you're done with a puzzle. And we break the first seal. One of the seals opened. 2 more and I'll be in. And now we've got this. Let's take a better look at this thing just from all... Oh ho! Another note! McAllister returns with the rubbings from Egypt. The pattern continues. The Tibetans call the null element space. To the Hindus it is ether. And now to the Babylonians it's simply up, the other direction, the realm of Ishtar. Of yet more significance is the recurring presence of the hexagonal glyph. The same symbol, repeated in cultures separated by countless centuries in the span of the globe. Who will tell me now that this is idle superstition at work? When my hands hold the first distilled sample, they will recognize me then. Presently, the skeptics have one more in their number. McAllister has quit my service. That's usually not a good sign, dude. But, yeah, okay then. Well, let's look around this thing. We've got a key, which looks like it could go there, but it won't fit. It's too big. We come in here. There is a button. And here we have the most annoying puzzle in this game. It's one that they did not change when they took it back from being a phone game, and you have to tilt things by moving your by moving the window around with the... Oh, frog, I hate this thing. Yeah, I don't like this, as you can probably tell already. You have to just move shit around until such time as they come upright, at which point the lights will turn on. So the problem with this is that unlike doing it with your phone, where the motion sensors would basically treat this with some iota of logic, doing it like this, it doesn't really alright, great. There we go. Yeah, if you get stuck, feel free to exit out and come back in. It might solve itself for you. Yeah, it's a lot easier to do with a phone that actually, is sensing motion. Okay, so we have Schiller. So let's get into a reasonable... Okay, so we move around. This is a perspective puzzle, because of course it is. The whole idea is just you move your perspective around until you make the glyph. You don't have to get that close. It's like some of the banana puzzles in Donkey Kong Country, the original one. Well, I think we know what we can put here. And if we turn it, and that opens up. So we move in. I actually got stuck here, like, on my second or third practice run. It is actually really easy to forget things. A small cabinet key. Well, we have seen a small cabinet keyhole, have we not? Dude? There we go. You'll know if you can use something because it turns solid when you move it over the area. And we get an enameled brass star. Okay, then. And the keyhole expands. I'm not sure that actually works, but hey. If we come in here, there's not much we can do there, so let's zoom out or completely and just look around. Oh, hey, a star. A star-shaped indentation. Yeah. It's hard to tell from here whether that's an indentation or poking out. That's why I clicked it. Another note. June 21st. Take note of this date. It is the most significant in human history. What, the summer solstice? I have done it! A human subject was required. The catalyst was my own being. Fatigued by my studies, I entered the chamber without disabling the mechanism. When I regained consciousness, I had succeeded. The null element is beyond curious, being neither quite energy nor matter, and I have already made great strides in its study, specifically in how it refracts the light. Tonight, I open the wine. Does anyone else think that this is not going to end happily? Okay, so we've got a knight with an axe, a knight with a mace, who has this funky thing here. We can turn it, but it doesn't seem to do anything right now. A brass ring with markings around the edge. Yeah, does it look like something else? A knight with a sword, and a knight with nothing. He ought to have a cup. No. There's a little similarity to tarot symbolism, but not really, actually. But what else does this look like to you? It's the outer ring of a safe dial. And this, it's a safe dial, but there's a piece missing. Ta-da! Okay, so there's a dot here, a single dot there, and a single dot there. Keep going. That's okay. No. So we know that the combination is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Okay, then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you try to go too far, it will stop. You have to get it from this way. The dial comes out, and obviously there's a combination, but we haven't seen anything like that, have we? That's 'cause. Hello. If we move in, we see coming from the left side, 5, coming from the right side, 2. So we come in and look at these because those marks look familiar. So coming from the left side, 5. Coming from the right side, 2. I'm wrong, I guess. Okay, then. So it's the other way around. Yep. Luckily, if you screw up, it's not that hard to figure out where you've gone wrong. I did that last time, too. I don't know. Another key. A large, oddly shaped key. And if we turn it around and around and around and around. Oop, not part that one. We want it to come this way. Now we can turn this any way we want. I think that's right. So if we come out and check, come into the key, if we try to use it, the key doesn't fit like this. Well, let's take a look. You actually see what the problem is. I really like that. So we've got to get it to look like this. I had it completely backwards, which of course is not that surprising because you're looking at the keyhole and you forget that the key has to be the other way. So now it fits, but I like how they show you. And we get a circular plate with a star emblem. We also get a look inside there and, wait. The last time that thing opened, I don't Something's funny here. Yeah. Alright, so we've got a circular plate with a star emblem. Let's take a look at it. It's obviously a dial of some sort, and we see on the back there is a square peg. So obviously we have to look for a square hole. That's just an I symbol. But that looks like a square hole to me. And it is. All right. And we're done with that puzzle. And the key seal breaks. The second seal is open. Just one more to go. Bet you thought I was going to quote H.C. Bailey here. I admit to being tempted. Okay, so we've got a giant clock thing. Scroll out and take a look at it. Well, we can come in here. That looks familiar. So if we move this crank, and it won't let you move it in the wrong direction, luckily. Oh my. Oh hey, those look familiar too. I've seen those two symbols. 3 symbols. Where the heck did that come from? That was not there before. Yeah, as you get into this, some of the stuff starts becoming a little less, shall we say, plausible. And then that's there, and we can see that that is here, so it has to be upper. It has to point to the upper left. Good. And now we remember up here. Aha. I think that has to point to the upper right. Let's take a look. Yes, so now we just have to find this symbol, which looks like part of the Deathly Hallows, and I think it's basically should be the symbol for null, and there it is. But I don't see a... Remember Chris Ramsey's rule of puzzle solving. So I think that has to go that way. We'll go around and see if I have it right. I do! Yeah, I think that should be the alchemical symbol for null, the 5th element. In Western alchemy, it was usually referred to as quintessence, the 5th essence. We find a rubber band. Actually, it's probably not rubber. It's probably like, elastic. And a large cog. Well, there's only one place we need cogs. Unless, of course, we're King Mondo from Power Rangers Zeo. Okay, so... It's got a, well, it's got a circular hole, so... Once again... Excuse me. Okay, it's working. I am once again asking you to move the crank. And we get a screwdriver. We have an elastic band and a screwdriver. Just call us MacGyver. Alright, so... Anything we can do here for a screwdriver? No, but here... we have screws. So, remember, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. And I'm about this bad using a screwdriver in real life, unfortunately. Okay, so if you hit the button, it stops. Dang it. Luckily, if you stop it in the right place, it actually stops, and you can just sort of keep spamming hitting it. So you don't have to be good at reaction time stuff, which, as we all know, I really am not. Okay, so this sort of... Got it. It's a folding key. We need to find a folding keyhole. Oh, hey! A folding keyhole. Yeah. Okay, so if we look at it, it looks like a plane. Sort of. With the jet engines on the bottom and the aileron thingies on the top. So, jet engine on the bottom. Yes. Jet engine on the bottom. Move that. Aileron thingy on the top. If you get it wrong, and this one, of course, is symmetrical, so you don't have to worry. But if you get it wrong, you'll get the outline. And we get a medium-sized cog. I didn't know they came in different sizes. Yeah, again. I liked Power Rangers Zeo. I thought it was fun. But now we're sort of, well, no. I mean, I will be back for you, but that's not what I want. Okay, we have triangles. The cog has a triangle in the center. Yeah, that tells you that basically you're going to need to do more than one puzzle with it. This time, the crank goes back. And we get another cog, a medium-sized cog. Okay, then. Thank you. Okay, so obviously it needs to go over there. It pretty much has to go there. Let's see. And we're probably going to want to remove that cog and put it there. Yes. But now how do we connect them? The elastic band. Yeah. And now the clock gears are turning. Non ad astra mollis e terras v. Possibly. My Latin is better than my French, but not by much. It means there is no easy way from the earth to the stars. I don't think that gear actually works, but that's okay. And we get a thing. Click the thing. A long, narrow steel tube. Well, that head means it isn't used for what my first thought was. Ow. But if you pull it off, we get a key. And an old photograph. Now, if we look at the photograph, it's just a photograph. But if we look at the back of the photograph, it says Revelation 605. That's a clue. But it's not a clue we can use yet. So if we look at this, we can see that the dial tells us to turn it, but we can't turn it yet. So, can't do anything yet. But if we come over here, we have a keyhole. You may also hear a brief ping when a usable object gets where it's supposed to be. Oh boy. We've got Schiller, which means... Yep. You'll want to... We're going to have to... excuse me. Align our stuff with this mark on the floor, because it's the one that we don't move. So, move that there. And then rotate. And there we go. Sometimes it's a little slow to, what's the word I'm looking for? Recognize that you've done the right thing. A small silver shield. Well, have we seen anybody with shields? We have, in fact. Check out the knights. Like, if you look at these gentlemen, you see they have shields on their chests, and this guy has no weapon or item. An oval gemstone. Possibly a sapphire, maybe an aquamarine. Can't think of any other blue ones right off the top of my head. There are other blue ones, but... And look, an oval hole. So we put this here. I said... Okay, lighten up that color. It's definitely an aquamarine. Can I turn it? I can. But where do we turn it to? There are no hands on the clock. Remember the Revelations 6:05? Yeah, that's what this is a clue for. However, if you go into Revelations, and I will be putting the text somewhere up on screen because I can't remember it off the top of my head, it's the breaking of the third seal in Revelations, which lets out the Black Horseman famine. Yeah. Is this maybe the best idea? But it's a game. We can't really go too much. We can't really stop now. Well, we could, but where's the fun in that? And there is another puzzle box in there, where it could not possibly have fit. Yeah. Okay. So, we're going to stop there, and I will come back, and we will continue on with this in the next episode. Thank you guys for joining me for Let's Play The Room, and I will see you next time. Have a good evening. Goodbye.